Hey guys, I'm just giving a little update on my current situation in life. Most of my life, I've been trying to master my mind. I've been trying to figure out everything there is to possibly know about the known world and the universe, time, space, physics, everything you can think about science, and anything that is logical, anything that is common sense, anything that makes sense to the physical world. I personally know a huge majority of it. And I can kind of be a little ignorant at times when I see someone being kind of stupid. It kind of got to me in the past, and I'm like, oh my god, why are people such idiots? But since I was like that, I was very closed off to the world. I was very in a mindset of logic. So, um, I don't know if I'm going to like make videos on logic, my feelings, or something else. It's a new journey that I'm starting right now. I'm going to take you with me in this journey as I explore it. But I'm not 100% sure what the format will be because this is a new journey for me. And this journey is insanity. It might seem a little insane. I mean, from a logical perspective, it's complicated because you really need to know how the world works before you get into sanity. See, most people, when they're logical, they will think logical. So, if they have some sort of mental breakdown that puts them into a chaos of uncertainty, they don't know how to fucking deal with it. It's a very true statement. And a lot of times when someone is trying to basically be logical, they consider certain aspects of craziness as an illness. But I like to expand my mind. And the mind is of two natures: creativity and uncertainty, and, like basically emotion, which isn't very logical. And the logical side that deals with planning and decision making and all that crap. So there's two different sides of it. Um, these these few days I've been adjusting myself, and basically going along into a different sort of paradigm shift. If you don't know what a paradigm shift, look it up because I'm not explaining it because I'm done with all that crap right now. Like, I might get into it later. I don't know. I am a logical person for the most part, but I am done with that for the most part. So, when I talk about insanity, now that I've covered all the basics, I needed to be logical so I can keep my state of mind. So, I've been developing skills and coping mechanisms to figure out what makes me tick, what makes me pissed off, and what I need to work on, and all that yada yada yada. So, once I figured all that out, I can really dive into the depths of insanity. See, when people are going to the depths of insanity, they're usually not very logical. They make mistakes. They usually end up in a mental health institute or go to jail or do something unethical that basically questions a lot of individuals. But since I am super aware because I spent most of my life learning about almost everything there is to know about the known universe, I've developed a very strong will. And it kind of helps out that I've been basically in physical pain. I've recently discovered that I have this weird illness where my joints and stuff aren't actually stable, so it causes me a lot of pain. And I wasn't like, until I realized that, I had no idea that it was spiraling me down and ruining my life. But I'm getting back on track on that. I'm figuring out how to basically fix the pain with like magnesium and other stuff. But I am working on fixing that so I can have more of a solid mental state. So, anyways, I am going to basically go into hell and back, go into crackpot theories, and still be sane. Because there are two types of people. Meek individuals who basically are the standard type of individual who are the average person. If you're like me and you're pretty smart, you'll notice a certain pattern in society where everyone's kind of like in an ignorant state. And they'll go along with society, say things are cruel when it seems mean because they personally don't do it because that's not how they were raised. And will go along with society and think that the best solution is to be in a nice little safe bubble where you don't learn any knowledge besides what people tell you to learn in your average schools, jobs, and so forth, and you get stuck in that mindset and are very limited. There are people like that, and then there are people like me who are aware of all that. And when you're aware of all that, you kind of know that, like, okay, that's the general population. That's the general population. Then they're stuck in their mindset. They're not going to change. Trust me, I've met several people in my lifetime. Actually, no, I shouldn't say several people. I should say about like 95% of people are in that mindset around my neighborhood. Like, literally, I could, like, go up to someone that I totally don't know, start a conversation with them, and steal their wallet because I do something totally crazy to distract them. See, that is the way of life. If you do something totally unexpected and unpredictable in a strategic way, you can master insanity. But if you do not know how certain things work and just try it on a whim, you are likely gonna see errors in certain situations that aren't gonna work. For instance, if you're like an average citizen and you're like, okay, my life isn't going great, I need money, I'm gonna steal a wallet. They don't plan for it because they have the average mindset and just go out in the world, try to rob someone, and it usually ends up failing. So, since I kind of know that kind of standard way of thinking of how everyone generally sees the world, I've seen social media, I've seen a lot of crazy shit in my life, and it just circles around and around and around. People don't learn generally in the main population. There are special individuals out there who do want to reach higher states of enlightenment. Some people choose meditation so they don't piss people off. Some people try to do it in different ways. But I am truly an aspect that basically wants to learn not just what it makes sense to everyone in this world. See, insanity and reality are kind of one and the same. Let me explain a scenario for you. Think of the multiverse. There's one of me and an infinity of me that are basically doing different things all at the same time, all equal in their own plane of the fields. The only difference is they make different decisions that lead them on different paths of the road. There'll be small variations like, oh, I picked up my controller. Or, in the same instance, I could be like, okay, I'm gonna turn on this electric candle. Like, see, there are multiple scenarios where I could just pick up a random object, but another variation of me somewhere in the cosmos of realities where I pick up a different object that I wasn't originally thinking in this reality to pick up. There's similar scenarios like that, and then there's really crazy scenarios where reality is really fucked up. Like, for instance, I could easily be in another reality, a waffle that basically loves to say and skip to my do, my darling, and basically it can get really fucking weird. See, the thing about the multiverse is anything can happen. Nothing is off the table. If you limit yourself to a certain mindset, you're going to be stuck in reality, and all that shit is going to sound crazy and totally insane. But if you open your mindset and basically accept that reality is chaos and basically unpredictable, everything basically just seems like whole. But if you're in a limited mindset, you're not going to think like that. You're going to think that, like, oh, that's a crackpot theory and totally insane. You're going to have that kind of mindset. Most people do. But I personally don't. And that's why I want to expand my mindset. So, welcome to the new me. And for a very long time, I am going to be diving into insanity. If I do make more videos of this topic, I will try to kind of like share what I've learned in a way that will be understandable to you guys. But until I can kind of like figure out how insanity works in a logical perspective, I kind of can't do that. But when I do, I will be the first to tell you, because I can't tell anyone around me in real life, because they'll think I'm crazy and probably lock me up. So there are two things that are going to be going on in my life. There's one, my social life, which I have to keep in like everyday life, where I'll act like I'm totally sane and totally normal and all together. And then there'll be the second version of me that will keep to myself and kind of like look through the internet and look through all crazy, weird, and bizarre shit that basically people mindlessly think about. They don't think about it like in a logical perspective. Like for instance, you might think about SpongeBob SquarePants as a kid's show that makes absolutely no sense. But to me, that is the learning book of insanity. That is number one basic shit on how to be insane, but also be mentally aware of being insane. That is the textbook right there. If you want to get deeper into it, watch Rick and Morty. You know, you gotta expand your mind by going into insanity. But that takes time. You need to become super logical first and then switch over to insanity. That's the only way it will work. But since you guys probably need to focus on your own life and kind of can't do that shit yourself, I will be doing that job personally. Don't worry, I'm very concerned with my health because I value my life and I really do want to live. I want to live a full, like, meaningful life. In fact, the average age of, 70 to 90, roughly that age period, seems too short to me. Like, I'm only 29, and I kind of basically, I'm like, okay, my life kind of just started. I have twice as much life to still get through, and I already know a lot of knowledge, but I don't know a lot of insanity. So, I'm going to be going into the fourth dimension. See, the thing about the fourth dimension in my particular standards is that it's achievable right now. But you need to be very logical like me, discover everything, and basically be that guy that is a total prick and a dick and an asshole that you don't like, but you know they are right, so you can't get mad at them directly, because if you do, they're just gonna prove you wrong and make you cry because they know how to do that. Trust me, I've lost many friends just because I knew how to screw with their mind. So, join me in my insanity journey, but also logical journey. It's a little weird. I understand this, but it is going to be a very creative experience. See, the thing about the fourth dimension is it's in here. We can't see it physically because anything. Let me give you a simple example. So, say, like, you know all my basic shit that I post. I do weird, bizarre, crazy, insane stuff all the time. I'm scatterbrained. I do emotional shit. I do logical shit. I do racist shit. I do sexist shit. I do a bunch of crazy shit. In reality, though, I'm the most caring, understanding, and passionate person around in my neighborhood. There are two sides to me: insanity and moral judgment that I hold dear. Two variations. I'm going to be exploring insanity in a way that most people kind of don't really understand. So, this is the example. I'm sorry, I kind of got off track. Like I said, it's not going to make any sense because I'm going to be basically going insane, but I'm going to be staying mentally stable in all my actions. So, let me give you a good example. The basic, like, I am a caring person, but at the same time, I am the guy that will basically be like, it's a word, it is not a prison. If you're too scared to say it, I will. Like, if you're just like a neighbor and like you're all fine, and like you see me, you'll be like, oh, that guy seems nice. If you get to know me, I'm a very different person. And if I like you, I'm a very different person and will open up to you in a way that you will not expect. See, I'm the crazy guy. I'm the nice guy that ends up being crazy if you get to know me and get me really relaxed. So, for an example, my mom is a very kind and passionate person. There are certain aspects of my life she does not approve of and will not understand if I tell her, because she cares about my safety because she is a generally caring person. So, the fact that I'm going into insanity is kind of a sketchy area. So, like, let me give you an example. My mom is kind of really insecure, so I'm not afraid to tick her off. I will make her cry. So, for instance, I can be like, hey mom, I love you to pieces. And she'll react like this. Oh, that's nice of you. Oh, thank you. She'll be like nice like that. And then I'll do this. Mom, you're a fucking bitch. If I say that, she'll be like, oh my god, how can you say that to your own mother? And then, if I drag it onto that and totally ignore my moral values and be a total douche, I can make her cry because I can be the guy and switch over to unapologetic mode if you piss me off. So like like I said, I can act nice, but if you piss me off, I will be mean. So the thing about that is I'm a very good manipulator of everything. So since I am like that, I can easily manipulate people in a way that they don't understand. For instance, a simple one that most people will understand. I know this video has been dragging on for a very long time, so I'm just going to say it right now. anything you think in your head is private. No one can currently read your mind, unless they like attach you to a lie detector and your blood pressure and shit like that. They will not know what's inside your head for the majority of the population. On the flip side of that, anything you say out loud to every individual person will reflect on them, and based on the information you give them, they'll make an opinion of you. So, for instance, an average thing that people like is cats. I personally love cats. I think they're cute. I think they're hilarious. But at the same time, I'm aware of it. So, the difference between me and them is they think they're cute. I think cats are sadistic and evil. People love cats and think they're cute. I think they're sadistic and evil, but look cute on the outside. See, people want to stay in their comfort zone most of the time and won't tread off the general rules of society because it's been set so deeply into everything that's around us. But that's not reality. Like, there is so much to learn. If you don't know what's in here, you will think that they're a completely different person if they act in the complete opposite way. That is a perfect example of how the fourth dimension works. You think they're crazy and have crackpot ideas, but they're thinking on a whole different level. They have discovered the fourth dimension. Most people see it as crazy or an illness, but they see something that the majority of people do not. And because they don't understand it, because they might be afraid of how unpredictable that person is, they drug the person up with medication, or they basically state that this person is mentally ill. That is the opposite of it. I believe that people who are mentally ill are actually the more evolved people. They see the world in a way that others just don't. And it gets a bad rep sometimes. I can't admit that. I do feel self-conscious that, well, I shouldn't say that. I honestly don't give a shit about anything right now. But I did feel self-conscious, and that's why I wouldn't explore that area. I would be a very uptight person, but I've been relaxing, and I've been enjoying myself, and I'm acting a little bit crazy, but I've been keeping it steady and kind of keeping my life together. So, I've been exploring that realm a little bit more. So, welcome to the world of insanity. I'm going to be exploring that version of me in a more constructive way. See, I can act totally insane, or I can act totally normal. See, there are two sides of me. That's the more crazy side that kind of people get a stereotypical vibe off. But I'm going to be more collected in my outward appearance, but be totally insane in the membrane in here. But at the same time, I'll be more rational. This has been a very long video, and I think I've held you up, guys, long enough. See you later. Peace out. Bleep, blah, 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 blah. Meow, meow.